my name is Tabar Williams. I'm filling in for Jessica Dean today, and we're here with Sober Living, another episode. Today we have
Chelsea Duncan,
and we'd like to talk to you about your experiences with sober living and some of your addictions that you had dealt with in the past. If you want to let us know where you're from.
I was born in Abilene, Texas. I currently live in Burke-Burnett.
And how long have you lived in Wichita Falls?
Burke-Burnett.
Just Burke-Burnett, okay.
I moved there last September.
Okay. If you want to tell people about your addiction, what has happened to you in the past, so that people can get an idea of who you are.
Okay. I grew up in a dysfunctional family. There was a lot of drinking, not so much drugs, but there was some. I started drinking alcohol when I was in high school. I didn't really use drugs for the first time until the separation and divorce with my first husband in 2012. And I used them for 5 years, and after 5 of probably the worst years of my life, I went into recovery and was in recovery from 2015 to December of 2021 from drugs. I struggled with alcohol after the tragic death of my nephew Gavin, who was 14 years old. He committed suicide, and it took a toll on me, so I turned to alcohol. And then after that took a toll on my marriage, and we separated in December of 2021, I traded one for the other.
What kind of drugs did you use?
Methamphetamine.
How long did you use them?
This last relapse was a year long.
What made you turn to drugs, or what was your story for using?
This past year, December of 2021, I separated from my husband and turned to drugs to cope with the loss and pain of the past.
Yeah. So during your relationship, did you there was no abuse, anything like that? How was your relationship with your husband?
Well, at first we had a great relationship. He was my best friend. Things were good. In January 9th, 2017, my nephew committed suicide, and we were very close. And he had told me that he wasn't okay, so it kind of took a big toll on me, and I turned to alcohol to cope with that. And slowly our relationship started to drift apart because alcohol became everything to me from the time I woke up till I went to sleep, just to try to forget about what had happened. So after many years and lots of strife and disagreements and drunk fights, things ended between us.
How long have you used alcohol?
I had my first drink when I was 15.
Tell us about that experience.
I was in high school. I went to a prom party. There was beer there.
You said a prom party?
Yes.
So in other words, your parents wasn't even expecting you to go to a prom where there was alcohol?
I'm pretty sure I probably lied and told them I was at my friend's house. Don't remember.
Yeah. So, what made you choose sober living?
Well, I was arrested December 10th, 2021 in Burke-Burnett. I had been running so hard from my demons for an entire year that I wouldn't sleep. I would stay up as long as I possibly could because I didn't like what I would see in my sleep from the past. And I went to the gas station, and next thing I know, the cops were there. So I was arrested for possession of narcotics, and 3 days before, I had prayed for God to help me, and I feel like He did. So after 3 months in jail, I decided to apply for the Hope Center, and they came and got me out of jail, and I went to the Hope Center on March 10th, and I was there for 4.5 months. After a series of events, I decided that this was probably not what I needed and that I needed a different program. So I left there and pursued coming to sober living.
What was the Hope program like?
The Hope Center is a great place to get a good foundation, to grow your spiritual life, and to connect with God in a place that's cut off from the outside world. It's very structured, and you have a very strict schedule, and they push you real hard. But I learned a lot from it, and my spiritual life has grown a lot. It's a great program too.
What is some of the things that you could take from the Hope Center and apply to sober living?
Well, like I said, my spiritual life grew, my Bible knowledge grew, my prayer life. All that is a foundation I never had before. So I bring that with me daily now. So it's something that I think will help me succeed in the sober living program.
How long did you spend at Hope?
4.5 months.
Oh, okay. What's your transition like from the Hope Center to sober living?
The first few days were kind of difficult because I was used to not being able to even go to the bathroom at church by myself or to ever walk off, always having to have an accountability person. There's always being, a schedule with event after event from 5 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock at night. So I had to kind of learn to slow down a little bit and to be myself again and to just relax and not always be on the next task. It's just been different being back out into the world and having more choices to make day to day after basically being institutionalized for almost 8 months.
So at the Hope Center, y'all basically had different programs. What were some of the programs that y'all had there?
It was just a different environment. Like you wake up in the morning and do Bible study, and then you get ready and you go to VT, vocational training, which is similar to work, but it's not work. And then you have different classes you do and different programs, church several nights of the week, Celebrate Recovery. They just keep you really, really busy. And it's just to the point where you don't have time to think about your addiction, but you are getting a lot of knowledge and stuff from it. What type of work do you do, or that you like doing? That I like doing? Mm-hmm. Well, after separation from my husband, I started a cleaning business, and like a legit cleaning business, and I did really well for about a year until I was arrested. I haven't decided if I'm still going to do that after this or not, but I really enjoyed it. I like to clean and organize.
So let me ask you, from a scale to 1 to 10, if you was released today, where do you fall on that scale? Do you think that you'd be ready?
Well, I had a little bit of time in transition between the Hope Center and sober living, and I found that it was scary at first being back out in the world. If they were to tell me to go home today, I would definitely have some fears. I feel like my support network needs to grow a little bit more. I feel like I need to get more used to being around people in the world and not just being protected in a bubble before I'm just thrown out there. I need to practice every day making better decisions and applying what I've learned in the last 8 months, not just forgetting about it all and repeating things from the past, because that's never worked. And to keep my sobriety, I think I need to continue to work the program for a little while longer, so hopefully that doesn't happen.
Upon being released from here, what are the top 3 goals that you're going to work towards accomplishing once you are released from here?
Whenever I'm released from the program, my number 1 goal is to get my daughter back home, to reunite her with our family, and I have a long-term goal of being a drug and alcohol counselor, so upon completion of the program, I would like to enroll in school and start that process to help other people in my situation, bring them strength and hope. And I guess stay sober. No, I don't know. Continue to apply what I learned. I mean, I have other long-term life goals, but that apply to my recovery. Those are the numbers.
What are they?
Other long-term goals? Well, I'm engaged, so I'm going to get married.
Congratulations.
I totaled my Jeep that I love so much in my addiction, so I'm going to buy myself another one and not do that this time. I'd like to make some amends with some family members that I love and miss that I've hurt a lot of people, and some of those relationships can never be restored, and those mistakes cannot be taken back. But I definitely want them to know that I love them, and I'm sorry that I hurt them.
Nice. When you do get released, is there anything that, like, what would you tell someone that's like you, that's, you know, they went to the Hope Center, maybe it didn't work for them, they're coming here? What is, like, something that you would tell them to keep them engaged in both programs?
I would say don't give up, because sometimes God does things and we don't understand it, but then we see down the road what he was doing. You know, you never know. Just because one thing doesn't work out, there may be a whole miracle waiting at the next one. And I know for me that leaving the Hope Center, that I had fears and didn't understand what God was doing, just knew that it's what I had to do and I had to be strong. And I'm stubborn. Usually I want to argue with everything, but I didn't this time. I just came here. And I know that within a week, I know that the Lord knows what he's doing, that I'm right where I need to be. So I would tell anyone that don't give up. If sober living is not the program for you, there is one. But I really believe that where God leads you is where you're supposed to be. So just trust in the Lord.
Any last remarks?
We do recover.
And I want to thank you, and it was a pleasure meeting you, speaking with you, and having you here. I hope and pray that during your recovery that, you know, you stay grounded and engaged with sober living, and that you know, stick to whatever your goals are in life, and that you achieve them, and that you blossom, and that you and your husband, your future husband, y'all grow together, and y'all all be a family with you and your 5-year-old daughter.
Thank you.
God bless you.
God bless you.
Thank you.